Alright, this is BoxingWave. Yesterday I posted a video about Andre Ward. Alright. I've read the comments. Okay, I'm actually was in the middle of going back and forth with people on my Twitter account about Andre Ward. Okay. Yesterday, Dante's Boxing Nation. Okay, subscribe to his channel. He put up an exclusive interview with Andre Ward. Okay, where they were speaking about Golovkin taking a fight with Fraj or Chavez Jr. Okay, trying to get a fight with those two, but not trying to get a fight with Andre Ward. All right, listen, I know about Andre Ward and his attitude. Okay, I know that a lot of you guys don't like his cocky. He comes off as being cocky. Okay, because he'll sit back in the interview, he'll sit there, and he'll say, "Well, I can beat Kovalev, I could beat Stevenson." He gives respect. He shows respect for fighters, but he'll sit back and say that he can beat all of these guys because all they have is power. Okay, I fought guys with power before, and I found a way to neutralize their power. Okay, and I'll do the same with them. All right, you guys gotta understand. You don't have to like the guy personally. It's okay, but let's not forget here. Don't get side blinded from his cockiness. Okay, or you might think he's cocky. The man actually makes sense. He is not getting any offers. None. None of these fighters from Golovkin, from Frach, from Chavez, from Kovalev to Stevenson to Hopkins. None of these fighters that people bring up all the time are offering him a fight. None of them. Okay? Guys are willing to say, like Golovkin, I'm willing to fight at 154 to 168. Doesn't want to fight Ward right now. But he was willing to take a fight with Chavez Jr. or Carl Froch. Okay? But not with Ward. Now, I know what a lot of you guys are going to say. Well, it makes sense because Chavez Jr. been on pay-per-view before. Okay? Carl Froch sold 80K seats at Wembley Stadium. All right, we know that. But what I'm saying is, Ward has been considered top two, top three pound for pound for years. Okay, all right, that's just a fact based on the majority of the major websites or the major analysts or the major people consider him that high, and they have been since the Super Six tournament. Ward said if he was in a different era, if he was in an era where there was Nigel Benn and Roy Jones Jr., those guys would not let him reign for this long without fighting him. And I believe that. Those guys would have taken the fight with Ward by now. Okay? They would have done it. Okay, Frotch used to say all the time he wants his rematch with Ward. That's one of the last things he wants to do. He hasn't sent Ward any offers. Okay? Kovalev might have mentioned him. He mentions them in the interview. He said that he'll fight him. Golovkin has said that he'll fight him. But none of these fighters are pursuing the fight. Okay? None of them. They're not making it a priority to fight him. Okay? They haven't. They haven't. If Ward is going on camera saying that, oh, I think these guys are good, but I think I could beat them, isn't that enough for a fighter to want to get in the ring and actually prove that they can beat him? No, they're falling back and taking other fights. Okay? They're taking other fights because they don't want to fight Andre Ward. It's not because he's not active enough. I mean, he fought last year. He fought in November. Since then, which one of these fighters have sent him an offer for a fight? I'm not I'm not talking about on the interview saying, no, which one of these fighters have sent Andre Ward a physical offer? Physically, like sent him an offer to fight. Not one of them. They only mention him because they're asked about Ward in the interview. None of them are actually trying to fight Andre Ward. They don't care that he's champion. They don't care that what people consider him to be as far as the top fighters. They don't want to fight him. They don't want to fight him. They're not making a priority to make this fight happen. They're not going in the post-fight interviews and say, I want Andre Ward next. Who said that? What fighter have you ever seen from 160 to 175? Which fighter have you ever seen say that? I bet you if Roy Jones was fighting today at 160 or 168 or 175, this fight would have happened a long time ago. Before Chad Dawson. It would have happened a while ago. It would have happened after the Super 6 tournament. They would have fought already. Same thing with Nigel Benn. You know? Now, for the people that's saying, well, Ward needs to stay busy. Okay, he needs to stay busy. First of all, he's going through issues with his contract. Not saying that he can't fight, but what he wants, he knows his worth. Okay? I've beaten all of these guys in my division. I cleaned up. Okay? I'm undefeated. No one has come close to beating me. And I know my worth. I don't want to take a step backwards. I don't want to fight Saki Obika. You know, I want to fight those. That's a step backwards. He wants to get paid. Can you be mad at the guy for wanting to get paid? Don't Golovkin want to get paid? Okay, don't Chavez Jr. want to get paid? So I don't understand. Why is it so bad that Ward is saying that he wants to move up in competition, okay? He wants a big payday. He wants a fight. Okay, if the fight doesn't make sense to these other fighters, like a Chavez Jr. and like Golovkin and Froch, if it doesn't make sense financially for them, then that's the excuse they're not fighting. Don't blame it on Ward. Don't say that he needs to stay busy. Stay busy fighting who? Who do you want? If Ward goes in out there and fight Saki Abika again or Mikhail Kessler again, will you be impressed if he wins? No, because he beat these guys. It's going to be no surprise. Several people beat these guys. Will you really be impressed? No, I don't want him to stay busy. I mean, I want him to stay busy because I want to see him fight. But the man wants to step up in competition. Can you blame him for that? Think about it. Can you blame him for wanting a better fight with better money? He deserves it, right? Then you guys want to bring him to the pay-per-view. He doesn't draw in no money. What are you talking about? He doesn't draw any money. He doesn't draw any money. Golovkin had 750K viewers on HBO against his highest, Daniel Gill, most accomplished fighter that Golovkin has faced up to this date. And he only has 750,000 views. Ward averages like 1.3 million. What are you saying he doesn't bring in money? He's averaging on his HBO views what Chavez averaged. Okay, Chavez been on pay-per-view, but he's been on pay-per-view because he fought Sergio Martinez. Yeah, he's a bigger star, he's more known than Sergio Martinez, but that fight was specifically a pay-per-view because of who Chavez was fighting, not because Chavez is some big star. He's no Mayweather, he's no Pacquiao, he's no Cotto, he's no Canelo. He's not none of those guys. But if you put Ward in the ring with someone that people want to see him fight, like a Froch, or I don't even know Froch because he beat Froch already, like a Golovkin, like a Kovalev, like a Bernard Hopkins, you know? If you put him in the ring with one of these guys, maybe it could be a pay-per-view. None of those fighters from 160, there's not one fighter from 160 to 175 that is bringing in that kind of money. You know, they're not bringing in, none of those fighters, including Chavez Jr., none of the fighters will bring in constant pay-per-views. None of them. None of them. Not one of them. Unless their opponent is a guy that a lot of people want to see the fight. The Sergio Martinez Chavez Jr. fight People wanted to see that fight for years. Okay, it finally happened. They did okay. What did they do? 450K. Chavez Jr. didn't get no pay-per-view with Brian Rera. Okay, if Canelo fought Brian Rera, I bet you that would be a pay-per-view based on Canelo and his fame. Canelo is more famous than Chavez Jr. Chavez Jr. ain't the type of fighter that's gonna get a pay-per-view regardless of who he fights. Pacquiao could fight anyone. He could fight Jesse Vargas and get a pay-per-view. Floyd Mayweather, he can fight freaking anyone. He could fight me and get a pay-per-view. So you guys got to stop blaming Ward, all right? Ward is actually, if the man wants his business to be right, before he just take any fight, then let him do what he wants to do. I want to see him in the ring because I'm a fan, but let's be honest here. If the guy is all about his business and he wants everything to be right and he wants to fight the guys that he feel, which is I would think that it should be a top fighter from 160 to 175, someone that he hasn't fought, someone mixed with someone that he can bring in some money with. Okay, I don't see the problem. Okay, stop focusing on his attitude. Stop focusing on that, and not just him. Stop focusing on Adrian Broner's attitude. Stop focusing on Mayweather's attitude. Okay? Stop focusing on that, solely on that. All right? You're taking it personal. If you don't like him in the ring, that's one thing, but stop taking it so personal about his attitude in this interview. You know, he seems a little confident, too confident, seems a little cocky because he thinks he could beat these guys. What's wrong with him thinking that he can beat Kovalev or Adonis Stevenson or Bernard Hopkins or Golovkin or Chavez Jr.? What's wrong with that? Is there anything wrong with that? What do you want him to sit in here and say on camera that those guys can beat me? I don't know. Like, what do you want him to say? You guys are taking it way too personal. Taking it way too personal. Okay? These guys are not sending offers. They'll mention him in the interview because they ask these fighters about Ward. But that's as far as it goes. None of these fighters, which one of these fighters said, I want Andre Ward next? Which one of them said that? Name one fighter that said that. They don't want to fight him. Not because he's not active, not because they don't want to bring in the money. They don't want to fight him. It's a tough fight. He's averaging around some of the other competitors, but he's not as easy as the other competitors. Okay? My problem is this. You want to get the exposure? You want to really get the exposure? You beat the best fighters. You beat Andre Ward. You be the first to beat him. You get all the exposure in the world. You can beat Andre Ward, then you're the man. Anyone from 160 to 175. You beat that man. You call him out. You pursue the fight. You make the fight happen. Ward. Same thing with. You don't see guys. I mean, listen. These guys. Most of the guys I named is not even in the same division as Andre Ward. They're not even in the same division. But you don't see Hopkins going up to Andre Ward. You don't see him doing that. He don't want to fight him. He don't want to fight him. He rather fight Kovalev. He rather fight Stevenson. They don't want to fight. They don't want to fight Andre Ward. They don't. Mentioning his name in the interview doesn't send the offer. Say that you want him next. Don't say, oh, I'll fight him. Anybody could say that. I'll fight Andre Ward too. I'll fight him. I ain't gonna send him no offer. I'm just playing around. Anyway, subscribe to the channel. Let me know what you guys